we can learn so much from each other. And the more we understand we're all on the same path and we're all going after the same things, it gives us the ability to give each other grace as well as to open our hearts to learn from one another. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring to the stage so we can keep digging into this mindset piece, our Director of Field Development, Mary Beth Dodd. I love it. I'm excited too. Are you guys excited? You know, when I see you leaders in here, what I think of is we just spent the morning with your leaders, right? With your rubies and emeralds, and it was an incredible morning. You guys should be so proud. And they had so much energy and excitement. So you guys should blow them out of the water today. Are you all about it? Okay, let's do it. All right, I want you guys to help me to welcome some mindset experts that we have right here among our own ranks. So please put your hands together for Lauren Casamatis, Katie Rogers, and Sarah Rankin. I love it. You guys, it was such a treat for me just to get a few minutes with these ladies, even just in preparation for this, to see the passion for mindset, to see the change that's happened in each of their lives. And so that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about how mindset and personal development can really impact not just your business, but your leadership, and really it like trickles into your entire life. Pretty awesome. So if you guys would, let's just start right here with you, Katie, and just tell everybody a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I'm Katie. Hi. I've been with this company now for a little over 4 years, which is insane. I'm a presidential diamond, and 4 years ago, I was a hairstylist that worked way too much, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I hated the fact that I had to drop my little girl off every day at daycare, and I didn't get to see her, so I decided, if I didn't make a change, nothing was going to change. And so I got started in this business, and it has literally changed everything for us. I've been able to come home, got to retire. I get to work this business every single day with my kids, and it's just been such a. Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren Katzmatis. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm an Ambassador Diamond. Oh, thanks, friends. I've been in the business for 5.5 years now, and I'm a mom to 3 little boys. And through this business, I started with 1, and now I have 3. Life happens, the years go by, the time passes, and mindset is such an important topic that we're really tackling today. As an elementary school teacher, which is where I was when I got started, there was absolutely zero emphasis on self. It was always personal, it was always professional development, how to help your students, how to talk to parents, how to grow more in literacy and math. And there was never a focus on self-love, self-care. There was no one telling me, you are amazing, you can conquer anything. And so I'm so glad that we're really diving into this today, because It Works has really given me, so much financial freedom, so much freedom of time. That's why I joined. But more than that, the understanding that I am capable, I do deserve abundance and happiness, and I'm just so excited that we get to share all that with you today.
Hi guys, hello, hi guys, I'm Sarah Rankin, originally from Toledo, Ohio, and now I'm here in the beautiful Sunshine State, right down the road. I've been with It Works now for 9 years, which is so crazy to say. This will be my 11th conference coming up for 2020, and I have had the biggest personal growth story ever. The mindset in this business has transformed me. The woman I am today is a shadow, or was the woman I was then, is a shadow of who I am today. You guys, have any of you ever prayed for a way out? Have you been in that place that's just really dark and you're looking for that way out? I was praying for a way out. I was a broken college dropout, divorced, drunk, I literally, a professional screw up is what I like to say. I was in my early 20s when I was just laying in bed in an apartment that was furnished by my best friend from Goodwill. And I was staring at a stain in the ceiling, just praying for a way out. And I had no idea that a woman would walk in and hand me a Blitz card and it would change my life forever. And so along this journey, you know, I've gone from living my nightmare to a dream board come true. And all along the way, there's so much that I could say to you that's happened over the course of nearly a decade. But the biggest part, outside of financial security, outside of being healed and saved and finding wholeness and purpose and passion, this business has just freed me in so many ways. But it's also because I've been resourceful and willing to grow. And so people are going to grow with you or they're going to go. And I chose to grow and plant my roots here. So I love it works.
Beautiful. Okay, Katie, so one of the things I love that you said when we were talking was that you like to call yourself up, like call yourself up into something, into more. I love just everything that makes me think about, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I just think, you know, there's such power in our words, and especially what's going on like in our head actually during the day. And you know, it's really hard to live a positive life and have, you know, positivity going on in your business and in your team if you have constant negativity going on in your mind. If there's constant like a bad tape rolling. So really just flipping the script yourself and calling yourself higher and expecting more of yourself and just choosing, because you have the choice, like what actually plays in your mind. You are the only person that gets to decide what goes on up here. So flipping the script and really just any time that, you know, negativity or doubt or fear, because I think we can all, you know, in this business, there's times that you don't know if you can do it, or you're scared, or you just like, what if, kind of start pouring in. And if you can get into your mind, and when those things start going on, you can immediately shut it down and just say, no, we're not going there. This is the truth. This is what is actually happening in my business. Call yourself higher, rise up, and talk to yourself better. Like, that's where I go into my affirmations anytime that, you know, I'm having a tough time in my business, because I have those daily. You know, really just starting affirmations like constantly. And I mean, I probably do affirmations 28 million times every single day, but just, you know, going into mine, like, I'm anointed, I am called, I am favored, I am blessed, I'm an amazing leader. People flock to me. You know, I exemplify Jesus in all that I do. That is what is constantly going through my head. And if you're talking positive to yourself all day, it's pretty hard to have a negative day. So call yourself higher and just, you know, raise your thoughts up.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, you can clap for that. Incredible. Okay, Sarah, so you've been around a while. You said 9 years. Is that right?
Yeah, 9 years this last July.
So how has mindset impacted your business in that time?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I think one of the advantages I have is that I had already lived my nightmare. So I had already been so uncomfortable, and the pain was so severe and ran so deep that all I needed was that light at the end of the tunnel. And being really resourceful, I'm a redneck from Michigan. You've got to learn how to jimmy rig things and be really resourceful. So being really resourceful, I didn't know how, but I knew why, and I was willing to learn how. And I didn't care how long it took, because I had already lived what felt like my entire life under this crushing weight of debt and depression and failed expectations. And so learning how to shift expectations for appreciation was the first thing, recognizing that everything is truly a miracle. The fact that this woman that I never knew walked into a gym. I was a personal trainer, 23 years old, in great shape, and she walked in shaking and sweating and out of breath and handed me a Blitz card, probably terrified. But that was a life-changing moment for me. And so I knew right away the power of our words. But along the way, right around Double Diamond, I hit that threshold of, you know, am I worthy of this? What have I done? Look at all of these mistakes I've made in my life. And there's truly an unworthiness epidemic that's sweeping the world right now, the nation, especially here in America. And so learning how to break free of these self-limiting beliefs became my must. I knew to get to the next level, to get to triple, to get to presidential, to get to ambassador, to millionaires club, and then to go Black Diamond, that you have to new level, new devil, just like Cami said. You've got to be willing willing to break free of these self-limiting beliefs that you've been carrying around. Beliefs have consequences. If you believe that life is a battle, life will always make itself a battle. Everything will feel that way. And I was raised really thinking that money was bad, that people with money were bad, that things were hard, that life was tough, that you had to protect yourself. And coming into It Works and falling in love with so many people and finding family and people who believed in me, I realized there is a different way. It's not the normal way, but it's a different way. And to me, it feels like a better way because it's surrounded in love and light and encouragement. But I had to give up that resistance and one of those egos that Cami says. And so, if you're walking around telling yourself that you didn't sign any loyal customers last month, so you're not going to sign any this month, you won't. You'll find a million reasons. Your brain will always work against you to try to align your beliefs. And so you've got to be willing to shift that. And the way that I did it was really sitting down and making a should list. Every season, about once a quarter for me, I sit down and I say, who am I in this next season of life? Who do I want to be in this next season of life? What kind of a leader do I want to be? What kind of a mother? What kind of a wife? What kind of a friend do I want to be in this next season? And then I make a should list. I literally take a couple minutes and I should all over myself and I just write it all out. I should do this, I should do that, I should do this, right? And then I go through and I look for 3 to 5 things in each category: my marriage, my business, my friendships, whatever the categories are for you, financial. And I find 3 to 5 things that would make a huge impact if I took it from a should to a must. And so, the way that you make lasting change is truly by changing those beliefs that you've been carrying around in a backpack that probably weren't given to you. Somebody else in your life placed them on you, either when you were a child, when you tried to do something and maybe you feel like you failed. But really just saying, if it scares me, I must do it, and being willing to push forward and being resourceful. If you don't know the answer, go find it. If you're looking for inspiration, don't wait for Amber or Mary Beth or Cami or anybody to give it to you. Go take it for yourself. Decide what you need. Look it up and just run.
Yes.
I love that. Sarah, one other thing that you mentioned was that you would raise your own bar with, sorry, this is totally not in the order. I just have to go there. But you would raise your own bar with personal development. It's like, if this book isn't doing it for me, what else do I need to get?
Yeah, I have ADD, which is why being a network marketer is so great, because you can constantly evolve and change and adapt and try new things. But if I'm reading a book and it just doesn't resonate with me, I close that book. I don't beat myself up for not finishing it. If I'm reading a book and that aha moment hits me, then I run with it. I take that aha moment, that's what I needed at that moment, and I run, and I just take massive action from that. And so each, whether it be a podcast or a YouTube, that's really, I don't know if you had another question, I'll kind of lead into the inner circle. My inner circle wasn't, I grew up in a garage in Michigan. I was surrounded by people who did not want me to get outside of the box. If you get outside of the box, then who's gonna hang out with me in the box, right? And so I had to create an inner circle, and that started by setting a standard for my life that I was not willing to settle for. Like, I wasn't willing to settle for anything less, because if you don't set that standard, you'll find yourself one day after another settling for less than you deserve. And so through events and books and podcasts, I learned how to change my state, get out of bed in the morning, and instead of immediately running to do mom life or business life or checking your phone, taking 20 seconds to just run through gratitude. And it doesn't have to be deep. There are mornings where I'm like, these sheets are so soft. Thank you, God, for this pillow and this bed. And my oil smells so good today. And just taking a moment to start your day right. Because the biggest decision you're ever gonna make is choosing how to feel. Mindset is a choice. And until you take responsibility for that choice, you'll continue to be a victim. And you guys, life, there are no victims. There are only volunteers. There's someone somewhere who has had life harder than you, and they are getting up every single day, and they are making the most of it, and they are changing the world. So stop suffering. Making the decision to stop suffering. I really was carrying around a big deck of cards saying, I can't believe this happened to me, and that happened to me, and this hurt, and that hurt. And I realized at that moment that I was the only one who could free myself. I was the only one who could choose to end my suffering. And suffering, guys, it's a really selfish state. And when you're being selfish and you're suffering, you cannot give to the capacity that God has called you to give. You cannot light up, be the lighthouse if you're focused on being a life raft trying to save people, and you will drown with them. So I don't know if that answers your
That's
question.
awesome. Thank you. I love it. One of my favorite mentors one time said, one of the greatest thing, I think he said the greatest thing you can do for someone is teach them to take responsibility for themselves. You know, and the sooner we do that as leaders, the sooner we can teach other people to do that. And that's why I thought of that, Sarah, that they need to know that, look, take responsibility for yourself being inspired, you know, for you feeding yourself and changing your mindset, and take that responsibility. It's huge. So whether you've been in the business a few months or a few years, I'm thinking most of you, it's been, you know, maybe close to a year or more in this room, you're going to have struggles at times. And I'm so sorry to break the news if you didn't know that yet. If you didn't know that yet, that's awesome. But there's going to be times that are hard, you know, and there's going to be stuff that's tough. And so, Lauren, I'd love for you to share just how do you not feel burnt out?
Well, I'm going to tell you, everyone's going to feel burnt out. I felt burnt out as a teacher, right? Because when you're giving, you're going to get burned out. So then it's your choice. Mindset is a choice. I love how you said that. It's so true. So we're all leaders in this room, right? And I didn't need mindset training until all of a sudden I did. So a lot of us are getting a head start already by hearing people and hearing stories and saying, okay, if my business is rocking right now and I don't necessarily need it, but all these people are saying something's coming, maybe I need to start finding something that's going to fill me up in a different way. But for me personally, I'm just going to kind of flip off the script and share some personal things that happen with my business. I never understood how top leaders could drop rank and drop rank and drop check, and you see them in the top 30 and all of a sudden, are they in the top 100? Are they in the top 150? But I've been there with my business because the business doesn't change, but my life did. Has anyone been pregnant in this business? Has anyone been sick in this business? Has anybody had a sick family member in this business, a sick kid? Have you had life happen where you've gotten a divorce or you've lost a job? Something's going to happen that's going to throw you off course, and you have to make a decision. So my decision at the time was I dropped in my productivity, I dropped in my mindset, I dropped in my attitude, and my paychecks dropped. So I sat here and I had to finally look in the mirror and say, Lauren, what's your choice? Are you going to quit at Works and go back to teaching kids again? Are you going to leave your babies every single day? Or are you going to figure this out? Because your willingness to figure it out, there's not an answer, guys. And I hate to say this, you can't get on a Zoom where you're going to learn mindset tips. We can't give you tips and tricks for navigating the algorithm of mindset, right? There's not anything other than you. It's on you, all of it. So your attitude's on you, your choices, how you're going to perceive other people, your perceptions, it's all you. So I decided I need to figure this out. So I became a learner. You have to keep learning. And I honestly am not a reader. Is there anybody in here that doesn't really love to read? Some of you guys, they're like, I've read a book a week or a book a month. Okay, that is really awesome. I don't really love to read. I was a teacher. I know that sounds weird, but I don't. And so I had to find a way to fill myself up. And I fill myself up with all of you in the room. And some of you have saved my business multiple times. Thank you very much for your service. But also there are so many voices out there, wonderful voices in the realm of self-development, right? And mindset. You have to find those people that fill you up, that are speaking to you, that are relatable to you, okay? So I heard Pam and all of you guys talking about doing a journal. I didn't do it until I heard the right person tell me to do it. And so that's why you have to keep listening and keep your mind open, because you don't need that mindset training until you need it. Okay, so one more thing, sorry. This job, I'm gonna be, again, honest with you, it's a job, what we're doing. It's a lot of fun. We have our ups and downs, right? But it can get boring. It can get mundane. It's repetitive. We do the same simple things every day. So guys, if you're in a slump and in a funk, I'm gonna help you right now. You have to find excitement and passion somehow. And if you don't have that, it's because you are lacking in belief somewhere. Do you not really believe in the products? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, get passionate about one of our new products. If you're like, I don't know about the wrap, then oh my gosh, fall in love with the Reds. They're really delicious, right? And my kids love them too, okay? So if you're like, I don't know about, the keto coffee kind of tastes weird to me. Okay, well, you're crazy, but then get on the Mocha Dreams or the pumpkin spice. You have to literally get excited again. Create the passion. The same way I'm doing it with my, okay, this sounds bad, doing it with my husband. The same way you're creating passion in your marriage and in your friendships and in your relationships. And there's days where I don't want to be a mom and wipe a butt, but you have to. You have to. Every single day you have that choice, okay? Just being real. Thanks. But it's true. So I'm going to tell you all to lean in to the funk that you might feel, or when you feel like I'm bored, or when you feel like I'm doing the same things every day and I'm having the same conversations every day. I feel you, but you're either cutting the same hair every day or teaching the same lessons every day. You're doing something every day, okay? So I would rather do this every day of the week for the rest of my life than anything else. And so I want you to lean into that and realize that you need to grow your passion. You need to grow your excitement. Boring people get bored. So if you're bored, stop being boring. I don't have anything else to say.
I love it. That was awesome. Okay, so we can close in prayer now. That's incredible. Okay. She blacked out, she said. You guys, how many of you are busy? Anybody? Anybody busy? Anybody feel like sometimes the first thing to go is your personal development, right? Your self-care. So many times it is. So I would love, Katie, for you just to share with us, like, when things are busy, when life is crazy, how do you stay on track?
Well, you guys were all busy, and you always make time for what is important to you. So if your mindset is important to you, if you are important to you, you got to make time for you. I am a mom of 4 girls. So I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 3-month-old. Okay, so my life is busy. My life is crazy, and I do have the unique perspective that I was able to build this business to Double Diamond while I was working full time as well. But it's just as hard when you're at home. So either way, you know, if you're working full time or you're working in the home, it is hard to make time for what you want to make time for. So for me, I get up really freaking early. I get up at 4:45 every single morning. I get my workout in, okay? Because that is a part of self-development. That's a part of self-care. Like, you're going to feel better about yourself if you feel good about how you look. So I get that done. I come home right after that, and I've got 45 minutes, which is an insane amount of quiet time, before everybody in my house is up. And I get to, for 45 minutes, just pour into myself. I feel like, especially as women, you know, we're not really conditioned to think about ourselves first and put ourselves first, but put yourself first. You are going to be a better wife, a better mom, a better business owner, a better leader if you are taking care of you. And so for those 45 minutes, I am sitting down and I am reading. I'm a reader. I love to read. I know not everybody does, but put on a sermon, put on a podcast, whatever, and just pour into yourself, because then you get to be on, you know, the offense for the rest of the day. You're not playing defense, like whatever comes your way. Like when my kids are, I don't know, whatever they're doing, but I'm not playing defense. I'm not reacting to everything that happens to me when I've poured into myself first. And I tell my team all the time when they tell me they're too busy, or I don't know if I can get, you know, this done or whatever. No, shut up. Yes, you can. Literally write down your schedule and see all the wasted time that you have in your day when you're doing your makeup, when you're in the shower, when you are in the car, driving to work, wherever it is. You get to make time for what's important to you. So if it's important, get up earlier, stay up later, fit it in here, there, little pockets of time. You get to choose.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right, so we have just a couple minutes left here, and we want to hear questions from you guys. What are you struggling with? What are those areas of, you know, mindset or personal development? What questions do you have?
Scared.
So you guys talk right into the mic box when it comes around to you, just like this.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I have a question. My question is, how do you keep your team's morale up without motivating them? Because obviously we can't do that. Even when they have new distributors that join and don't do anything.
Who wants it? Sarah.
I think, well, the biggest thing is you can't motivate anyone. The best thing you can do for your team is lead by example. But I think, too, bringing the energy to anything, whether it be a Zoom or a call or an event, and inspiring them to take action, showing them that they can get through. And for me, I'm a kind of a tough love leader. You've got two choices. Do you want me to be your friend that lets you walk out wearing those jeans, or do you want me to be the friend that's like, wait a second, you should go change. Those aren't amazing. They're flattering. And so don't be afraid to speak the truth. People are going to grow or they're going to go. There's no way to motivate, but the biggest way to change people's state is to transfer energy. So change your state. Wake up early, shake, like you were talking, and I'm like, just shake your butt for a second, slap yourself. You can't be mad. Like, change your state and then do your team call. Change your state and then get on the phone with your newbies. Change your state and then pour life into your leader or the person that you're talking about. And just remember to remind them that they're not alone. People quit. Some will, some won't. So what? That doesn't change the goal for you.
Love it. Thank you.
I just want to hear real quick, what were some of the books that changed you guys or that made a shift in your business?
Personally, for me, Rachel Hollis is really somebody that I was able to relate to. She has 3 young boys and is going through a lot of things that I was going through. So Girl Wash Your Face, Girl Stop Apologizing were really great for me. And I just love any podcast that she puts out. And that, for me, resonates because I feel like she is unshakable, and her bravery, her strength transfers to me. And I know if she's a normal woman who could do it, so can I.
I feel like this is a tough question because you really have to, again, be able to silence your mind, go into your heart and ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Because sometimes I need the empathy of a Stephen Furtick or I need Chase the Lion sometimes I need to be shaken up with some Gary Vee or some Tony Robbins who's going to drop an F-bomb on my head and wake me up from the morning, or sometimes you need a little bit of tough love, but other times you need that grace, you need the understanding, or you need the word of God. And so you just have to quiet yourself and then don't think too hard on it. The book that did it for me might not be the book that did it for you, but the one that really jolted me into a new place and gave me permission to take that responsibility was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins.
I have so many. I think right now I'm really on a Mark Batterson kick. I don't know if you guys like him. He's amazing. But I just agree with what they said. Find what speaks to you and just go with it. It may be something more business-based. It may be something faith-based. It may be something just, about loving yourself. Whatever it is that gets you fired up, roll with that.
I love it. And I'll just add to, there's so many good things out there, to read, to listen to, free resources. You guys, you don't always have to feel like you have to spend a ton of money on books, but Craig Groeschel's leadership podcast is just one of, did you hear that? Everyone loves it, right? Just one of the best. And I come from the church world, so I've been listening to him for 8 years, and just to see how he has really matched up with the entrepreneurial world, the business world, incredible. And he interviews a lot of people on there too. So I think that's,
speaking to the greens really quick, because we're talking about development, we're talking about digging in and leaning into more knowledge. Knowledge is not power, guys. It's potential for power. It is those who take massive action, immediate, inspired action. If something moves you, you take action now. That's where the power truly rises. You can learn all the things in the book, but if you're doing nothing with it, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's all about the action.
I love it. And that's a great note to end on. So thank you guys so much for joining us. It was incredible. Thank you for everything you shared. So appreciate it. All right, you guys. And the reason why that's such an awesome note for transition is our next section is going to be on fundamentals. Fundamentals. And I think it's so funny. I love Cammie's intro where, you get to the leadership group. You guys are the leaders. You guys are the ones who have really done some incredible things with your business. You've started some real life change at this level. And it's so tempting for us to go, okay, what different content do we need to provide? What more do we need to provide? But the reality is, you guys, I get phone calls from many of you saying, I don't remember how I did it the first time. How do I do it again? Or you get to that place where you were running so hard, you were working so hard the first time you made a big run, and you're like, I don't know if I can go back to that place. But because of what we just talked about, because of the mindset and the way that you can grow yourself, what we want you guys to be able to do is do it all over again every day we keep working, right? We keep pushing, but we get better. We get better at what we do because we have a better mindset, because we're growing people. So let's look at those fundamentals really quick. You guys have them on your worksheet, and let's just walk through just really quick. So the first one on here, you guys, building your list. And I'll tell you, we talked to your leaders this morning about how you don't just build a list one time. You build a list every day. You build it over and over. You're constantly adding to that list so that you're never running out of people to talk to. And that sometimes means, you guys, some of you who've been building only on social, maybe sometimes that means getting in person for some stuff, joining a gym, doing something different in person. Some of you, it's the opposite. You've done it all in person. It's time to start building that list online, but branch out, continually bring people into that list. And then the next one is connecting and inviting. So you're going to see it's progressive. First, you're building this list of people, but just because you have these great, people on your list doesn't mean that you're making connections. You're building that relationship so that you can start to invite them into your world, into your story. And that's where that next one comes in. And that is, really being able to share it with potentials and with people. Telling them the story of It Works, telling them how your story intersects with that, and just being able to share it. And we do that so many ways, right? We do that in person, online. There's so many ways to share it, but it's such a key thing that we've got to do. Sealing the deal. You get paid to sign customers and to sign distributors. We had an incredible morning talking about sealing the deal already, and you guys are going to get some great stuff today too. Be ready to take notes. It's going to be incredible. But sealing the deal, it's key. You have to be able to do it. You can do all the other stuff, and it can be immaculate and amazing, and you can have the biggest list in the world. But if you're not telling that story and you're not constantly sharing what's on your heart and what you have your hands on, you're not able to seal that deal, right? And then finally, duplicating. You guys, this is the most beautiful part for me, because it's amazing to go ahead and accomplish something yourself, but to get to help other people do that, that's when it just takes on a life of its own. And that's the power that happens in duplication. When you're really being an example of what it looks like to do these fundamentals, and you're teaching people to do that, that creates residual income. And you guys in this room already know a little bit of what that looks like. But that's what happens when you duplicate with your team. You guys, so many times the only thing standing between you and your goal is your willingness to find time for it. That's it. You might be spending, an hour in the morning working before you head to your other job or before your kids get up, but you realize at the end you've been scrolling through cat videos for half the time. And so it's so key. You guys, this worksheet that we've just given you, as simple as it is, when you're feeling stuck, when you're having that moment of like, did I work today? What did I do today? What should I put on that 6 list or that, 10 list or 2 lists that I'm going to do tomorrow? Go back to the list. Keep it simple. All right, are you guys ready to hear from some experts on fundamentals today? All right, please help me welcome to the stage your host, Miss Jocelyn Yates, along with Nina Moore, Emily Wersing, Joel and Stephanie Dunn.
I've been practicing my joke for weeks. Just like a cow walking through tall grass, we are utterly tickled to be here. And we're so excited for those watching on the live stream as well. I've had that written down for months. I've been ready. So these are going to be the concepts that not only do you use daily to build your business, mastering the fundamentals, but these are also going to be things that you're going to be able to take back and coach to help your teams so that you can go to a whole nother level. And I'm so excited about that. So obviously we know we still have to be doing the work ourselves, but that true duplication that we are absolutely seeking as Diamond and Above leaders comes from when we're able to duplicate what we know.
What happened?
Sign in again, quick. Mine just did the same thing.
What happened?
I think it's because I was idle for too long. I had my tweet.
Oh. You might have to wiggle your mouse every 5-10 minutes or so to keep it
Did your
active or
computer go to
something.
sleep?
No, it just timed me out of my e-suite because I wasn't doing anything else.
Oh.
Okay.
I have it playing on my iPad.
This is really messing with the people live at home right now. Turn the volume up. Did it break? Love you guys.
Oh, something happened to them.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome everybody watching at home out in TV land. This one's for you. If you get
I'm
tired
playing
of
it.
doing fundamentals, just know this. 90% of billionaires have found out that there's only 6 things, a handful of things that they have to do to be successful.
Why you're doing it. We talk about that all the time. Simon Sinek says, start with why. If your why isn't big enough to get you to do the fundamentals, which, you know, we've changed quite a bit over the last few years, but I still like our half, which are blitz, wrap, repeat. Step 1, get somebody to join. Step 2, help them to get some customers. Step 3, help them get some distributors. It's 6 steps. If you just roll through those 6 steps, no matter how you feel, you're going to have a large team. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that will happen.
And I know sometimes there's going to be moments when like, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Another share it. But Nina, we talked about this too. What do you do when you get in those moments where you don't feel like it, or when your team just doesn't feel like it?
I do it anyway. I do it anyway. I think just what you said, Joel, that I like the result. I know what it was like being broke, and it didn't feel good. And so it's not money that we're after, but it's about what money does for us. It's the options that money provides for us. It's the freedom that money provides for us. And so we don't feel like it. It's like lights, camera, action. We live, right? But I don't feel like we live every day. I don't feel like that. And, you know, and life is going on, and, you know, my father was sick, my mother was sick, I was sick, you know, there was life going on, and it's like, okay, lights, camera, action, we live! And then right when it's like finished, it's like, okay, now let's, and so you do it anyway because, like you said, I like the result. I don't ever want to be broke. I'm never going to be broke another day in my life.
Can you guys still hear it? You want to hear myself?
Especially because we have the choice and the power to control that outcome.
I love that. So, Emily, a little bit about your story, obviously, is you know, going to school. How often did you feel like going to school?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
I mean, never really, honestly. And but I got up and I did it because I knew that's what I had to do at the time.
Exactly. How many moms do we have here? Tons. You know, being there, how often in the middle of the night when the baby's crying do you feel like getting up? You don't feel like it, but you know you have to have the discipline to just get up and take care of your babies because that's what you have to do. And just like a college student, you're not always going to feel like going to school, and maybe you still do have a job you have to go to so that you can provide for your family. You probably don't always feel like doing that either, but the secret is all you need to do is apply the discipline that you already have in the other aspects in your life into your business, and that's where the game changer happens.
Jocelyn, I think you just made a great point that I don't think all of you caught. Treat this business like your baby.
Exactly. And so with that being said, thanks, Joel. It is completely about that consistency. It's doing those simple things consistently that bring us the results. And I know sometimes we do these big pushes, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait, where's all the momentum that we had? And it's probably because one of the fundamentals is not being met. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what some of these fundamentals are. And so you're going to realize how they all collectively together are going to help you take your business to that next level. So with the first one, building your list, I know, Stephanie, we were talking a little bit about how for you, your favorite part is connecting with people. Will you touch base on that?
Yeah, so what I love is you guys are really good at posting for me. What do I mean by that? It's you've planted so many seeds, but you forget to connect to that person. You forget to do the best thing you can do is ask them and invite them into your life and into your business to help change the world. So I think that when you figure that out, that there's other people that are going to ask that, then you take control and your list is like your family, like you want to help them, right? Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Can you guys understand that? So I don't want you to forget those steps of constantly building the list, but don't just stop there. There's so much more out there that you can be doing. So you will, when you go back and you just take a minute and you look and you see, gosh, people are really posting. Are they interacting? Are they maybe doing some behind the scenes work that you don't realize that the leader that's been in for a while is doing to follow up with them? And so that is so huge in this business, is making that connection, making them feel like, are you fun? Is that the person I wanna work with or have fun with and do this business with?
And I know, Emily, we were talking about how planting seeds, you do a lot of that through social media. So when it comes to building your list on social, what are some must things that you do?
I mean, exactly what Steph just said. I'm reaching out. I'm planting these seeds by posting, but I'm also building a relationship with them, and that's what's very, very, very important. And I loved how you said so many of us post for you, because I feel like so many of us are also getting into this attraction marketing thing. And shout out to Ashley St. Clair for that post, because that was awesome. But why not do both? I mean, it's very important for people to see us in our everyday lives, being able to be busy and be a mess and messy, but also being able to make an extra income from our phones. You know, but so they're attracted to us by what we're doing every day. But how are you really going to build that relationship? And it's by messaging. And planting those seeds and creating that relationship, and also a video that you did recently in the Lifers and reaching out with a video of your face. How many of you have done that? Be honest. Sent a voice message or a video of your face to potential, or maybe someone you didn't even know. It's scary. It's scary at first, but once you do it, you feel a lot better, and you'll start to realize that so many more people are going to reach out to you. So I challenge you guys to take that step.
So, and this
Excuse me, Jocelyn.
Yes.
Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's High Five 305.
Don't it feel good being alive? Young and wild and a little bit crazy. Maybe more than a little bit, baby. All night. Come on, y'all. If you're looking for a good time, throw your hands up, put them in the sky, and give me a high five.
All right, are you guys ready to get back to business? Okay. So there's also ways that you can build your list without social media. Did you know that was actually still a thing? And Nina is like a professional at this. Nina, how do you do that?
So, I think we make the mistake of thinking we have to go do It Works. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna prospect today, right? Well, here's an example. We arrived on Wednesday. We got into the Uber on Wednesday, and I just began to talk to the Uber driver. I controlled the conversation. So I know his name, his age, how long he was married, his ex-wife's name, where he moved from. He knew nothing about me. I said, have you ever, he said, yeah, I rode some girls earlier in the car that were going to the convention. And I said, oh, okay, did they give you their card? No. Did they give you some product? No. I said, really? Because now he's my prospect. He's my suspect. And I know everything about him and how long have you, I said, so you here, you have a girlfriend? Yeah. And I asked the question, have you ever been in a network marketing company? I said, you were a realtor, so I see you were all commission-based careers. He said, yeah, I was in network marketing before. I said, oh, he said, well, guess what company? I said, well, tell me, were you there 30 years ago or more? 20 years ago or more? He said, yeah. I said, you were in Amway. I said, Amway was soldiers. They were soldiers. And so we just began to talk, and I said, well, give me your number. He said, you're gonna need an Uber driver while you're here, right? I said, well, I don't know what you call it. Give me your number. I'm gonna put you in my phone, because I'm gonna send you my name. And then I said, well, let me see your girlfriend. He showed me a picture of his girlfriend, almost crashed the car, showing me a picture of his girlfriend. Let me see your girlfriend, because I need to know everything about him, because I need to find my inroad. I need to find out, how does he need me and how do I need him? I want to add value to your life, but you need to add value to mine too. This is a two-way street here. And so his girlfriend, she's beautiful. I said, oh, she's beautiful. She definitely should be a rap girl. He said, what's a rap girl? I said, I'm glad you asked me. Because I'm still controlling the conversation. And so I'm building my list by meeting people, by complimenting them. If I'm in the mall, whether I like the outfit or not, I'm saying, hey girl, I love your clothes, that's so cute. And then I'm asking God to forgive me for maybe not telling the truth. But the compliment is gonna open the door for me to have a conversation, because now you're my friend. And then I'm gonna say, I wanna remember this outfit forever. Let me take a picture with you. And I need to send it to you so that I can, like, are you on? And then I am gonna find her on social media, because social media is my resume. And I want her to see what I'm doing on social media. But now you're my girlfriend because I liked your outfit.
You know you're gonna have so many pictures on your phone now of other people with outfits.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nina.
She likes my outfit, you guys. She's not pretending that.
I love the cheetah.
Okay, and another thing that I like too is we know how to do this on social media. Find something that you have in common with somebody else, as simple as that. Find other moms, find other college students, find other truckers, whatever you do or whatever you love to do, find those people and connect with those people on social media. So asking whoever wants to answer, how as leaders can we help our team build their list? Is there anything that you do specifically to help them?
Well, I think, diamonds and above, you guys can handle hundreds list, but if somebody were to told me at the beginning 100, sometimes a little overwhelming. So really, if we can even start with a 30s list, whatever number that just seems to fit with you, I would start there. But what I've been doing a lot more is, this goes old school. Cammie may remember this, but it's pulling out the favor card. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through every product. And I love that we have the keto coffee, because do you all have an aunt that you see at Christmas every time anyway drinking coffee? You're gonna call that aunt up, so you're gonna write the name down next to that product. You're gonna call and do the favor. Hey aunt, Susie, whatever, I just started this amazing business and I would totally love your support. I know that you're gonna give me honest opinion of what it is. I know that you love coffee. Would you switch to this coffee for me and give me your opinion on it, and you'll get my discount? So that's pulling the favor card out. Do you remember that? So this is like forever ago, but it's so simple that we forget that. So even, for me, we have so many new products, so it's so smart for me to go, oh, Reds, who needs this in their life? And pull the favor card out and message them. Pick up the phone, you guys. If you can get them on the phone, they can hear your excitement. They can see that you want to help them. And that's what we're about. So building the list through the product first. And then as you're going out, you're going to start to the soccer field. What I love to do is baseball fields or whatever. I wish I had young kids, because I'd go to Instagram and see who's ever tagged that location. And I'd be going around and like talking to people and be like, hey, are you from around here? And trying to meet up with them, and again, connecting and growing that list. It's so simple that I think that we forget, because it's a fundamental that we'll never stop doing. And my list is like thousands lists. I'm sure Cammie's got millions lists by now, but I love that if you feel stuck, I give you permission today to go through that, start your hundreds list over, and you know what? Maybe your diamond, double, triple, go back to the ones that you talked to at the beginning and see if they're ready now, because they might be like, I'm so glad that you asked, and guess what? That's coding for you.
And I know part of that goes right along with making sure that when we are reaching out, we want to also make sure that we're inviting them. And Nina, we talked about this, making sure that it's something that would interest them. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I think we overthink it, right? I know we overthink it. So if you were getting married, you would be inviting, you wouldn't just like put a post on Facebook at 7 o'clock, that at 8 o'clock, you're doing this massive call. Or you're getting married. I'm getting married at 8 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, you're gonna post it. Hey, I'm getting married at 8 o'clock. You should be there, right? Because you want a person to be in the first to know that it's gonna happen. So they need to be prepared, right? And the invitation is so important because you also should be edifying. And I think if we understand the power of edification and we take the emphasis off of us, and especially if you don't have a story yet. So most people may not have a weight loss story or an income story, but I can share the heck out of someone else's story. So if I know someone else's story, and last night we sat in our lobby till like 2 a.m., and every person that came in, we got a story from them, right? Ashley, Amber and Josh, we had Caesar, Alyssa Wilbur, and everybody. Now my team knows everybody's story. You use those stories to invite other people who you know. You heard, we heard a teacher up here today, an educator. So now every educator that I know, I'm gonna tell this story about this educator who has 3 children, and I'm inviting based on the stories that I know, because facts tell, but stories sell. And I don't need to sell me, I need to sell someone else's results. I need to make sure I'm selling someone else has had success on this product, and oh my gosh, and I know I don't look like I need to lose 100 pounds, but I did before. So I'm gonna sell, oh, I got a teammate, she just lost 20 pounds. I know that, how's that weight loss journey you're going? You see people asking all the time online, oh my gosh, if I could only fit into these jeans. And then you just let it, oh girl, wow, yeah, I know. Right? Oh, wow, yeah. Or you see somebody saying, I was struggling to get back into my size 4s. That's an open door right there. Hey, I see that you had an issue, or you wanted to lose whatever, you couldn't fit in your pants. Hey, I know how that feels. I understand how you feel. I felt that way before, but I found a way. Feel, felt, and found. And I'm telling you something, when you can relate to how somebody's feeling, they feel that you felt that way before, but you found a way. They're like, tell me, girl, what's your secret?
I love that. And at the end of the day, once you get to that point, you have somebody on your list and you've connected with them and you've shared a little bit of information about the products or the business, we all know the fortunes in the follow-up. So Emily, we talked a little bit about following up and how that helps you seal the deal. What's one of your best follow-up tips?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the biggest thing that I see that comes from so many people is that they're just so nervous to actually keep following up. And I get the question all the time, when do I stop? I'm like, never. Like, you never stop following up. About a week ago, I posted a screenshot on my team page. I was like, guys, look at this. I followed up with this girl 13 times, and she didn't even answer me. And the 14th time, she signed up as a distributor. I'm like, are you willing, like, you guys say you want this so bad, but are you willing to follow up more than 3 times even, or get to the 13th or 14th? I feel like that's the biggest thing that I see. So my best advice is to have that courage. Know that you're doing a disservice if you don't keep following up, because you will get those people who are gonna answer, and you're gonna absolutely change your life.
Shout out to Ashley. One day April will sign up. And then the last part is duplication. Does anyone want to learn how to duplicate what you do within your own teams? These are some of the experts that know exactly how to do that. So one thing I know that really helped me as an example, the first time I ever went to conference, I was a double diamond, and my goal, Stephanie told me, bring as many people as you can from your team. And so we had about 9 people with us on to conference, and every single one of them, except for one, promoted to diamond and double diamond within 2 months after going to conference. Obviously, you know what that ended up doing for my business, but I was more excited for them, what it did for their business. So getting to events is my best tip for that duplication, getting your team to those events. And then, Nina, you also talked about not comparing.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, you figure, I'm not a Stephanie and Joel, right? I'm not a Cammie, I'm not a Pam Souter, but I am Nina, and I'm the most authentic Nina that I can be. I'm not eloquent. I probably say words the wrong way. I make up words while I'm speaking, right? But comparison is the thief of joy. And I realized I'm a preacher's kid, and my brother, who's my triple, he's a pastor, and he speaks like, I feel like you need a dictionary when you're listening to him. And so I was afraid to actually speak in front of people because I forget things. I have to have notes when I'm talking. And then I realized that it doesn't make me any less powerful having to write my notes out than it does for somebody that can memorize it all at one time, right? It just means that I'm different, but I'm differently unique in that way. But so systems beat talent every single time. Systems. And a lot of when we've been talking to a lot of the people who have been here for 5 years, which shout out to anybody who's been here for 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 years, shout out to you. And when we've been talking, there's a system that they've been using and they didn't even realize it was a system. And when we started day one, my mentors, Jared and Portia Wilkins, I thank God for you too. I just want y'all to shout out to Jared and Portia. Because they teach like systems. You have to run the play. We call it running the play. If you were on a football field trying to play football, I like football and basketball, ladies, I'm sorry. But if you're on a field or you're on a court and you're not running all over the place, you're following a play. As a matter of fact, the quarterback has to know all the plays, right? And all the team, they have to learn, when am I supposed to go right, go left, go this, go that. And so we learned that you have to bring people in and you foster them into your system. And the system is the same. It's the success, steps to success, over and over and over again. And I think we complicate it because it is so simple. Not easy, but simple. Get 4 loyal customers. When I sat in the room with my mentors and I said, what do I do? They said, I don't know, you go get 4 customers and you run the Ruby. I said, well, okay, what does that mean? How many people I need? He said, get 3 people. I said, okay, what's the volume? At that time, it was 1,500. We needed 3, and then 1 had to be an executive, right? I said, okay, 4 loyal customers, well, what does that mean? We didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know anything about the products. I just called people, and I said, hey, listen, I need you to be a customer. I list like 90 days. I'm going to give you 40% off, okay? I need your story. At like the end of 90 days, this is what you need to do for me. Then I called people, and I said, hey, listen, I'm about to do the biggest thing ever. What is it? I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't even tell you. I know I'm getting ready to do the biggest thing ever. You need to get to my house. And I invited a couple of people and 70 people show up. They didn't even know what they were coming for. They didn't even know what they're coming for. And then I said, well, I need to run the Ruby. What does that mean? He's like, just get some volume in there and get the people to get customers. And we just kept doing that thing over and over and over again because when it's not broken, you don't fix it.
Exactly. The duplication that you're looking for comes in focusing on the steps to success. You know how to sign up customers. You know how to sign up distributors. Sign up a customer and then just show your team what you just did. And that's how you're going to master those fundamentals. So who here has a struggle in one of the fundamentals and they want to ask the experts a question? Did I try to toss it? Okay. Where's the question? Over here on the front row. Front row, Joe.
Like this? Okay, so I'm a super yellow, and my question is, I'm nervous. Okay. So my question is, because I'm such a yellow, I have a hard time with messaging. I just don't want to do it. And because I'm not doing it, I'm not teaching the team to do it either. And I feel like we are all really missing out on a lot of potentials and growing our list. So how, as a yellow, do you overcome that fear and just get to messaging?
So I am not a yellow. Actually, I am. I'm red with sprinkles of yellow.
So now she's going to tell you what you have to do.
Yeah. So yellows, you love to help people. You love to make people feel special. You're thoughtful. You care about everyone. You are doing a disservice by not messaging and changing someone else's life. And the reason I say that is you cannot judge. And I think that's what we think. We look at social, or we look at somebody in person and they look like they have it all together. Like I'm just like, how are they portrait ready? And I'm hot mess express usually. But you cannot judge them because you do not know what their story is behind the scenes. And I wish, I was praying for someone to give me an opportunity to show me something, to show me a system that I could get out of. And so that is in my heart that I wish somebody would have told me sooner. And so when you think about it like that, Yellows, that, Kyle, you could change a life. You have so much to give. It is in your hands to do this. God has such a big plan for you. You guys are here. You're walking in his destiny. Don't you want to make him proud and message everyone and give them the opportunity to tell you no? If they say no, you go on to something, but you did what you are here to do. That is your purpose and your passion.
Hey, Amber, I've got a question really quick. Hold on.
Okay.
How, as a guy, do I do this woman's business?
Tell us, Joel.
I'm so glad you asked that question. Where are my dudes at? Dudes. All right. Here's super basic connecting man tip. Pull the "it's not me" card. My wife, girlfriend, significant other, has this amazing business that I think you would be good at. Because the majority of the reason why guys feel like they can't do this is because they see all the women. And they're like, it's so awkward going and talking to women. You got your wife, didn't you? You know how to do this. But to disarm it, you need to pull it off and put it off on somebody else. It's not, hey, this is my business. It could be your business. You could be doing the follow-up call later. Don't worry. Ladies, give your guys a goal. I know that we talked about this a long time ago. It was almost like, hey, Joel, you can't come home unless you have 3 people for me to follow up with. So now you're going to lunch being like, ma'am, can I get the bill? Oh, by the way, I'm not allowed to go home unless I ask you this question. And then they're like, that's weird. Sure. And then you ask the question. And then you say, my wife does this crazy business. I think you'd be amazing at it. Is it okay if I have her get a hold of you? That's it. Plain and simple, guys. Dudes, it's that easy.
That was a great question, Joel. I'm glad you asked that question. And I saw the dudes in here were pretty excited about that question, too. I want to have a few more of you go ahead and ask some questions, because I think that this is the coolest part of what we do here on Friday night, is being able to pick your brain, you know? Is that for me, Jeff? I love it. Thank you. He saw my heels. He was like, ooh, that's going to hurt. Okay, so let's take a few more questions, Amber. Josh, I don't know if you're ready. Oh, good. Somebody's got it?
Hi, yes, this is kind of Emily specific. You said you followed up like 13 times. How did you change it up that much? I'm like, do you want to join me or not, girl?
Very honest.
I mean, you got to get creative, you know? I mean, I do a bunch of different things. I'll send videos of myself talking. I will say happy birthday if I see their birthday, you know? I'll follow up on social media with them. I'll follow up on texting. I'll give them a phone call. Like, you just got to get a little creative, you know? And it doesn't have to be the same thing every time, you know? I mean, it shouldn't be. You know, hey, girl, I got one more spot left. Like, are you ready? Because I'm like, I'm ready for you. Like, you got to make it excited, you know, exciting. Like I said, just get creative. Save their social in your phone. Go to their social media. Reach out in that DM. Like I said, give them a call. Throw them off a little bit. That's the best part. I like when I throw people off.
I want to add to this too. You know, the interesting thing is that's why we keep bringing out new products. That's why when we have an incentive trip, automatically every time you get a new product, incentive trip, or promotion, reach out to every single person on your list. That's a no-brainer one. So that's what we're doing on our end to help you know exactly what to say that would be new. But I would encourage you to also stalk their social media and say, I see you've been, as a way to get in, so you're thoughtful about it and you're not just making it about you.
A lot of my follow-ups are not about the business. So what I will accidentally do sometimes as an accident is accidentally send them like a before and after. And I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send that to you. I promise you. And then they will say, and then I promise you this, and then they will say, oh my gosh, I was supposed to order. Let me do it right now. And I'll say, oh my God, girl, for real, I forgot. You were supposed to order. And then I'll say, well, hey, let's get on the phone. I can put it in for you right now, because now they feel convicted, right? And the other thing that I do in follow-up, I promise you, is I will send somebody. If somebody says, well, I want to lose 50 pounds or whatever, and they don't order, and they're just, not answering they are like, oh, dark 30, they've disappeared. And then I'll send them a message just saying, hey, girl, hey, I'm just reaching out to see how are you making out with that 50-pound weight loss goal of yours. It works every time.
I think we have time for one more question, Jocelyn.
Hello. So for those of you that run your business face to face, I have no problem. I love, Nina, what you said about complimenting. I can talk to someone in Publix about what kind of carrots to get all day long. But when someone asks me, so what is it that you do? I'm like, I could tell you, but I got to text you. So, because I love doing social media. So what are some of your best phrases or things that we can put together when someone asks us what it is that we do?
So for me, because we didn't have social media when I started, weird, is I use this example a lot, is years ago, I was walking through the makeup counter in Macy's, and everybody had dark hair, and so I happened to have dark hair, and they prospected me with a business card, and it was, hey, we see that you kind of fit this. We'd love to see if this is something that you'd want to do as a brand rep. And that always stuck to me, hearing brand rep, brand ambassador. So when I'm out, I have my business card. It's non-invasive. I think so if you guys are scared of blitzing, having a business card saying that you're a brand ambassador, a social influencer with your name and your Facebook, hey, I'm a brand ambassador. I actually got a couple positions open right now. I know you're at work or wherever it is. Maybe it's my waitress. Let me get your number, and I'll follow up with you after. I think that you'd just be perfect at that. Is that so simple, you guys? I think that we overcomplicate things so much in this business when it should just be that simple. And practice, because you're going to get it. You're going to be like, what are you? And you'll be like, a network marketer, I don't know, and then you're scared of the reaction that you're gonna get because you're not prepared, and what's gonna happen is you're not gonna ever do it. And so we have to be prepared for those times, and it feels good when it's a person to person. They see you, they know that you're real, they see that excitement of you being that brand ambassador for a top company that's been in the DSN, that is a debt-free company. You could go on and on. So I think short, sweet, give them a little curiosity, go get your Blitz cards and your business cards, guys, and then you can take it both in person and social.
That's good. Well, we've literally perfectly used up our time. Can I get a round of applause for this incredible segment? Thank you for pouring into us so much, you guys. Very, very much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Go ahead and pull out your worksheets because we're going to do a little work. Good job, good job. All right. Woo! Took off your shirt. Took my paper. Glad you're a 1099. There's nothing you can do except for file a report. No. Pull out this worksheet for a minute. I've heard a couple different things today. Knowledge is not power. Applied power. No, anyways, I've heard a lot about potential and knowledge, and so we're going to apply it right now. And I think so often you're focused on your teams and you're pushing your teams to do things. Right now is about you. And so the only way this is going to work is if you're honest. And you don't have to turn this into you don't have to turn it into me. They may make you turn it in, but this is for you. So let's go with the first question. In what area do I need the most improvement, and how will I be intentional about growing in that area? I'm sure each one of you heard 20 things today that you could take back to your teams. Just do 2, Try to figure out 2 things right now, because if you try to do anything, chances are you won't do anything. So what is the biggest improvement you need to make based on the things you heard today? And what are you going to do about that? How are you going to get better? I'm sure you've done at least one personality test. Oh, I don't need the background music. I'm going to whip them through this a little bit. But that was nice. And our viewers online, you can be following right along with us, okay? All right, so of all the personality tests you've taken, strength finders, color personalities, love languages, Enneagram, what do you believe is your greatest strength? And I heard someone say today, you got to bring the fun back in your business. And chances are when you're operating out of your strength, it's a whole lot more fun. So how can you use that strength to grow your business right now in this season? If you love talking to people, maybe you can be the team presenter for the next Share It. If you're really techie, maybe you can be the one that sets up the PowerPoint for the next Share It, or you can get all the stuff set up online for the live Share It. So what's your strength, and how can you use that for the team, for yourself, to grow your business? A lot of you are looking at me. Make sure you're doing your paper. If I was in my classroom, I'd be walking around touching your shoulders like, all right, stay focused. This one will require some work right here, getting honest about what's holding you back right now. If you have a accountability partner or a mentor that you really admire, it might be Pam Souter, which she's going to really appreciate. I said that when you all reach out to her. A field team, you do have people. You just have to make a decision to reach out and talk this out with somebody. I love what Lauren set up on stage here. I have so many ahas, but she's like, you don't know you need mindset work until you need mindset work. There's no algorithm on it. And right now, I guarantee you are writing something down about what's holding you back right now. So guess what? I bet you need some mindset work. And so who can you reach out to talk that through? Because for me, it's oftentimes just a one conversation to elevate my perspective, and boom, all of a sudden I'm back off and running. What rank or income level do you want to be at the end of this year? On December 30th, is there 31 days? 31 days has September, April, June, and November. Just kidding. So on the last day of this year, what do you want to be ranking at, or income goals? What do you want? Put it out there. Make it very visible. Tell your team, we're a top 10 team. We're an ambassador diamond team. We're a triple diamond team. Your team needs a goal, and they need something they can rally around. And chances are they'll rally around a team goal or your goal before they'll ever worry about their own. Sometimes they need that bit of a distraction, but you got to know what you want. How do you expect your team to know where they're going if you don't know what you want? And if fear is keeping you from writing that down, because maybe you've tried multiple times and you've fallen just short, I promise you that valley that you feel you're in right now, there's a higher mountaintop than you've ever been to, and it's going to be worth the work. Put it out there. Don't let fear stop you from what you deserve. This is a good one. What am I willing to give up right now in order to get closer to my goal? There's nothing about what we do that's easy. You've heard it over and over. It's simple. Some of you might, oh, it's not simple, it's hard. Well, then I would tell you,
Like we heard the people saying, would you rather, I think Nina said, would you rather be broke? I ain't never doing that again, she said. You get to pick your hard. What's your choice? And I am going to throw the catch box out there just a couple more times. Did we lose the catch box? We'll find the catch box. Okay, good. We got the catch box. Great. All right. Before we go out there for a couple more, I'm going to let a couple more of you share one of these, and we can work through this together. Or if you simply just want to share, I'm game for that too. Okay. We'll do a couple more of those. Before we do that, I want you to look at the last question on the sheet. This is important, probably more important for those of you sitting in this room. You getting to an event is one thing. When your team starts showing up at events, we know the impact that makes. And then we have what we call conference, which is the largest event of the year. And there is a woman, I know she's in this room, her first conference was this last year. And today, her and her husband are in the top 20. And she said until she went to conference, she would never have done it work. She didn't get it. I'm telling you, you win when your team gets to this event. So my question is, how many teammates are you going to make sure get their conference tickets and get them there with you? Write that down. If you know what you want, you'll work for it. If you just don't, you're going to wander aimlessly. I love when we opened up the Boston ticket sales. I think Mira sent me a text that said, I'm committing to over 70 people from my team at Boston. And within a couple of hours, she had over 80. And I said, well, can you go for 100? It's awesome, Mira. She knew what she wanted and she got it. I know you're still filling those out. I appreciate that very much, and you'll thank me for that later. Do we have 2 volunteers that want to share an aha or have a question? They just burning question. Oh.
Hi. Hi, Cami.
Hello.
Okay, so my name is Rachel Miller. I'm a double diamond, but if I'm being real, I've lost basically almost everything I built. In 3 months last year, I came home from conference. I went from $300 to almost a $5,000 paycheck in 3 months. And I busted my ass. Sorry, but it was exhausting. The hustle that I had to put in, I was drained by the end. If it wasn't the business, it didn't have my attention, including my daughter. And that's kind of why I slowed down. And if I'm being real, I'm scared of the work because I'm scared of the hustle that I know it's gonna take for me to go beyond double and get me to the place where I need to be. So how do I get over, because I know I gotta work. I know it doesn't come like easy, but I don't know how to get over that and not feel like completely drained.
Well, number one, can I have you repeat your name to me one more time because I missed that when you started?
Rachel?
Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Number one, you being very transparent there, and I appreciate that very much. And yeah. It's not easy to be that transparent among a bunch of your peers, and so that's cool. And I will just say congratulations because you're here. Yes. Something tells me, even though you're afraid, even though you feel exhausted, remember you get to tell your mind what to think. There's something in you more, greater, that believes this is your ticket to do exactly what you need to do to reach that goal. And I don't know exactly what that is, but I will tell you that I believe whatever the other side of getting what you want, of not getting what you want, is scarier to you than doing the work that you know you need to do to get where you need to be. And let me tell you why I believe that's the truth for you. Because you're here. So I believe whatever that looks like to not do it versus what it looks like to do it, that one's harder, that one's worse. Now I will tell you this, I missed a lot of time with my kids. And I mean a lot. I've even not been there on actual birthdays. But I will tell you what, today I get to be a mother like no other mother, I dare say, in the state.
Amen.
Gets to be like. And my children have seen an example that has inspired them. Remember, we can't motivate people, but we can inspire them. And I have showed them an unparalleled lifestyle that they will not have if they don't decide to go out and do that for themselves one day, you know? And so all that to say, you can pay now and play later, or you can play now and pay later. And I want you to know that what you're going to invest to reach this next mountaintop you're going to go for will allow you so much more opportunities to play with your daughter down the road. I wish we had more time to go back and forth, but hopefully we'll get to connect up after this. But I believe you already know that, or you would not be here. You just needed to get in someone to say something, to go, I was right, and it's time to go. I'm ready to run. All right, now before you go, I need the cliff notes, my friend. I know who you are, Tia.
No. This is Toya. My full name is LaToya Messiah, but all my friends call me Toya, so y'all welcome to it. Hello, kings and queens in this space today. Hello, Miss Cammie. Hello, camera guy, did you get my right side? Well, all right. I just wanted to be loud first and foremost and just claim in this space that one day I will be an ambassador in this company and beyond. So I just wanted to be loud about it and share that and make myself accountable to those goals.
Good girl.
And I wasn't planning on it, but Miss Rachel, I too am gonna speak into existence that you are gonna have your dream if you allow your desires to be greater than your fears. So I'm praying on that for you tonight, my love. My question is, sometimes we bring people into our team, but then they become cancerous. And they want to spread that amongst the rest of your team because they lost the belief within themselves. And sometimes you have to let people hit their rock bottom to come back to that happy space. But until then, there is no space in my place. But how do we do this with loving intention and without affecting our income?
That's a great question. Thank you for that, Toya. Okay, so number one, I think it requires, a wise person once told me that you praise in public and you reprimand or have those crucial conversations in private. And so that to me sounds like a crucial conversation. And coming from someone who doesn't get excited about crucial conversations, she actually runs from them as fast as possible. I also have seen the byproduct of not having those necessary conversations. Number one, if it's somebody creating a great amount of income for you, she's actually going to create a huge deficit for you or he by allowing them to stay. So I wouldn't look at what you're going to lose. I wouldn't think about all the income. I would think about all the loss that's going to happen if you don't cut the cancer, because cancer will spread really fast if you don't get rid of it when you find it, okay? So schedule a one-on-one immediately. Come with facts, all right? Don't say, you know, don't make it about feelings, make it about facts. And just say, this is how I'd like to move forward. And they get to decide, are they gonna go grow with you, or are they gonna go like Sarah mentioned earlier? And it really is their decision. But I think you're just putting a line in the sand that says, like you said, not in my house. Now, they may not choose to leave. They may not choose to listen to what you say, and they can do their own thing. But in your space, this is the rules. And I think you can do that in a kind way. I think you can connect with their heart. You can look in their eyes and start by telling them all the things you love about them and the things that you think and know that will get them where they want to go if they can get in line. Do you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate when people have those conversations with me, because that's when I learn the most. And so, crucial conversation. Speak the truth in love, connect first, and then hold fast on your boundaries. That's what I would say. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I know that so many others would love to be a part of just having these dialogues because I think we all feel so alone in some of these things. But the minute someone stands up and they're vulnerable and they're authentic, so many of us are like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And so there's so much power in doing this. And you know, you can duplicate this on a smaller scale, on a power hour with your team in person, getting them to go through these questions and really tap into where they're at and where they want to go next and how you're going to get there is really, really important. We wanted to equip you with another few tools in your toolbox to keep helping your team take that next level, take themselves to that next level. I could not be more excited about the opportunity that we have today to have Mark with us in a much smaller setting. Tomorrow, this room is going to be full. There's going to be so many more people. And to have Mark just candidly come out here with us and share his heart on leadership is an invaluable opportunity for us. And I know every time he talks, which is interesting because you're like, well, isn't he your dad? He is, but every time he talks, I learn something. And most of the time I see him do something and I think, I am gonna apply that in my life. And not always do the people that lead us do things that we admire, but guess what? We can learn from the things that they do that we don't love too. Sometimes we learn more from that. But this is a man that he is always very real, raw, and you're never gonna get, let's sit around and sulk about it. You're only gonna get, let's get up and go. Because at the end of the day, we have a choice. And he's gonna coach you to take the high road and to go after your dreams and push you to believe you were made for more and you can do more than you ever thought was possible. And so there's nobody better person to close out our afternoon with the movers and shakers of this company, our top leaders, than our very own CEO, Mark Pentecost. Get on your feet.
Hey. How you doing? Good, good. Yeah, looks good. Hey, how you doing? Doing good? Woo! All right. Hey, Tammy, is this triples and above? Diamonds and above. All right. Hey, you guys are really quiet when I was back there. I can't stand quiet. I was such a crazy nut when I was coaching. I'd make my players go up in the stands and thank their grandparents for coming to the game. So stand up, don't sit down for a minute, because depending on what I'm going to say is how much energy you have there. So think about the one thing that you heard today you really like. You got it? You got the one thing? All right, shout it out to me. What is it? All right, this group learned a lot. This group's a little lacking over here. What'd you like? I agree. I agree. All right, now, no, I couldn't hear it. Now, we get a few minutes. They buzzed into my time and man, I'm going to break this. That way I don't even have there. Okay, now we got more time. Don't tell them because I got to pay the bill. But I want to talk just a little bit of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So high five person next to you, say, get ready. All right, good, good. And then let's try and be positive. My devotion this morning was kindness. So say to the person on one side of you, you're really looking good today. And then look to the other side and say, I was just kidding. All right? All right, all right, good, good. You ready? All right, so, all right, you can sit down for a minute. But I'm getting revved up for tomorrow. And so, you know, if you feel like saying, yeah, or when it... There you go. I always like the locker room when they're like, yeah, coach, yeah. And when one would hit their head against the locker, I love that. I just go, yeah. All right, don't do that, don't do that. All right. How you guys doing over there? Tennessee is good, huh? Good, good. All right, so I was looking up some stuff today. 102 days until end of the year. I couldn't believe it, 102 days. You know, it wasn't that long ago, we were at a conference, and we were setting our goals for 2019, excited for 2019. So let's do a little checkup. Have you accomplished your goals? All right, good, good, good. Are you the best version of yourself? You had a plan, are you staying on it? So like diet, business, keeping your spending in control? Or do you feel like you're in the same place when we last saw each other? All right, so let me ask that question. How many of this is their first event ever? Raise their hand. Wow, 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 wow. Good, good. How many diamonds in the house? That's good. Diamonds are usually quiet. That's good. Double diamonds. Yeah. How'd you guys get front row? Double diamonds. You won't be there long. You won't be double diamond long. I can see that right now. Triple diamond. Excellent, excellent. Presidentials? Wow, wow, good group. What's next? Oh yeah. Let's break this into two. There's 16 ambassadors new this year that I'm giving the mic to Lovin tomorrow. I've been practicing. Given that, it's been tough. I get the down part really well, but sometimes the up part's been slower. So Lovin tomorrow that we're going to do, but that's so exciting. So who are our new ambassadors this year for 2019? I'm so proud of you guys. And all ambassadors, how many ambassadors in the room? Good, good. Any black diamonds? All right, I was looking for back there. All right, good, good. All right, so, I think it's important that we talk about, we set some goals in the beginning, and I'm going to show a slide tomorrow. I think I stole it from Mira's social, but I loved it. It said, I joined the gym 6 months ago, and I'm not getting the results, and tomorrow I'm going in person to find out what's going on. I love that. And I think sometimes there's people on your team that do that, right? You call them and you go, hey, how's it? And they're like, the business is not working out for me. And you're like, you haven't done anything yet. And they go like, well, I know, but so, we got to set our goal, set our plan, but then we also got to take action. And Kyler and I were working on a project just recently, and we were going back, and they were asking me some time dates, when we moved to Florida, when we had the golf course doing green carpets. I mean, we got people here that the first year we were in Florida, we had a green carpet like this every month at the golf course. Now, we had like 35 at the first one, and kept going. I think there was 850 before we finally had to move over here. But who remember those days? Who were at the green carpets that first year? Yeah, yeah. Tina and Bubba right there. I think you guys hit every one of them, didn't you? It was unbelievable. At Christmas, they were at the table for dinner. Cindy's like, what's Tina and Bubba doing here? And I'm like, they just come every month for a green carpet. They're here. But that was part of our secret sauce there. But we were going back looking at that. We were looking at different moves. And what struck me, I was surprised. The last 10 years, for Cindy and I personally, we've watched our success go from being about her and I trying to take care of our kids, our family, to all of a sudden like this legacy for our grandkids and future grandkids and great-grandkids. And I say that to you because what it made me think about was, here's how you're successful. It's not the mountaintop only, because we know we got mountaintops and we know we'll be in the valley. Everything's going right for you. And then it doesn't seem like anything's going right for you. But the secret is the consistency in the middle. The secret is that you continue, if you're doing positive things each day, plus time, it equals a happy you. If you're doing negative things, plus time, it equals a sad you. That's a pretty simple explanation. But that's what happens, and that's what I realized is, we're talking about stories today, tomorrow. Really excited about that, because what I'm excited about is you get to write the story, your story, the way you want to. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But for Cindy and I was coaching and I was teaching. 16 years, that seems like forever. I was a coach and a teacher. I was a varsity basketball coach. I loved it. I was passionate about basketball and teaching. And then I got into this direct sales thing that I knew nothing about. And Cindy and I were talking about that this morning. Most of you that came into this company,
Oh no.
Was that you? Why did I do that?
This thing, we set a goal for full time. We went full time. Then I wanted to be top 10. And I was telling a group, I was laughing because I like to laugh at my top leaders here that, you know, they're trying to get in that top 10. And we'll be in Tampa this year announcing them, and they come across. And, you know, every number is exciting. 11's exciting, 14 is, every number is exciting. But some reason, top 10, you just have an attitude. You just kind of like, top 10. Well, I was 13 one year, and then I was 11. And I went back to the room. I was throwing a fit. And Cindy's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so immature? And I'm like, we were 11. She said, it's $1 billion company. Look at the money you've made. You're making twice per month. I was making twice a year what I was making in teaching. I mean, it was amazing, but I was so mad. 11. And I remember when Ashley was 11. Are you in here, Ashley? I can't see out there. But I was laughing at Ashley because she's like, I'm going to be top 10, and she took care of business. But at 11, I'm like, I feel you. And I got 10 to 1 year. I'm coming off the stage, and this little old lady gave me a cue ball that said 9. And she said, single digits are so much better. Cindy was like, really? I thought we were going to have a year to enjoy ourselves. But, you know, so we were dreaming bigger. And then, you know, they were doing long distance on a wall phone. And you millennials, Google it. I'll explain what a wall phone is later. But at that time, we didn't have cell phones, mid-90s. And so that company went away. And, you know, we were on a mountaintop, and then we're like, but then, you know, we said, well, if I do this again, I'm going to start the company because I want to have control what we're paying people, what kind of products, what we're doing. And when I look back now, when I was coaching and teaching, we're winning our district, winning a title, I thought I was on the mountaintop. You know, I told someone, we built our dream house like 3 times. We thought this was the greatest house in the world. And then we got into this thing and started growing, and we decided to move to Grand Rapids, and we're on a lake, and we sold that house. And then we bought this house. I was like, wow. I remember taking my grandma, and she goes, this is the biggest house of Pentecost has ever owned. I'm like, yeah, Grandma, isn't this cool? And then we sold that and moved. And then, you know, we built a cottage that we thought, man, this will be forever. And then we got this idea to come to Florida with the company, and we sold that before we got it all finished. And so I'm saying that to you to say what looks big today may be different tomorrow. It's a stepping stone to where you're going. So I want you challenged to be thinking, what is your story? You got the pen in your hand right now, and you're going to write it. What would you write different right now? What would you write? You know, I think I was telling last night, when you're afraid of something, you have a little fear. What I see is when you're afraid, you isolate yourself. Isolation. And that's not good. I really feel the devil does that. He likes to get you isolated, then he can attack. So I'm so excited you're all here because we're in a group of positive people that can reinforce and help you out, and making sure that if we think sometimes we're the only one going through something, but you're not. There's so many of us. And when we can help and support each other for that next level, I always try to think of a word, and right now, I told him last night because I couldn't wait any longer, but my word was reload. So first of all, I wanted to model these because I really like these. They're pretty sharp. I see, Josh, you got yours. Good. All right, never mind. If you don't like them, I love it. But my word this year or for this weekend is reload. Because here's what I was thinking. The longer we're in business, 18 years, you know, we've seen everything. We've seen everything come, go, and different seasons of time, things happen. And it's the same in your business. You know, there'll be times you're exploding. And there'll be times you're kind of like, oh my goodness, will I ever meet another person to sponsor? I was with some people this morning, I told them, I said, I would go through that period where I'm like, I'm not going to meet another person in the whole world that wants to do this. And then it was amazing. All of a sudden, you know, I'd be at the grocery store, or I'd be at the gym or something. I'd meet someone, and all of a sudden that person, just like selling your dream house, would be the next person that takes you to a whole nother level. And every time it happened. Now, last year, I talked about reinventing yourself, and we did that with the company. We reinvented ourselves. Try it, more products, more sample size, things relevant that people want today. And, you know, we were always saying, how do we reinvent ourselves? Now, I'm saying, all right, in business, the word reload. There's no business that just goes like this. You know, I saw last week, I was telling them, Uber laid off 465 people at their corporate headquarters. I mean, that's a company that's just been rocking. But they are having to reorganize. And I was watching a football thing, and I know we got a lot of international. I'm talking about the U.S. pigskin football, not the round other thing they call football. So you with me? Tracking? We're good? So I'm from Michigan. I'm a Detroit fan. And there's usually only about 47 of us because we haven't won in 50 years a playoff game. And every year I say to Cindy, it's our year, baby. I know this is it. And she's like, I'll see you in a couple weeks when you're mad because you spent a whole afternoon again watching football. But we can't win. But I look across to New England Patriots. All right, Charlie, you can cheer. Where are you? You can cheer. Hey, last night he said he was afraid to cheer because I'd pick on him. But so New England, they've won, I don't know how many championships in the last 10 years, but they lose like their best player to free agency, or they lose someone, they cut them, and then the next day they pick up a couple people off the street, seems like, and they reload and win. They don't rebuild, they reload. And I want to tell you, whether you're a diamond or whether you're an ambassador, your business is constantly reloading. And whatever business you do, it's reloading. We said last night, and I already had some people text me today, I looked at who got me to diamond, and they weren't the same people to get me to ambassador. It just happens that way. Sometimes, but not usual, because you have to reload. Now, I thought Cindy had a great one this morning. I didn't act like it when she said it, because I thought I'd just say it and act like I did, but I'm feeling guilty about it. So Cindy, actually this morning, she's like, you know, some people will choose not to reload. You know, you get in, you got a great dream, you're excited, and instead of reloading, you just kind of let it slip away, and then the next thing, you're back working a job thing, and you're back in that grind thing. You know, I think the thing we forget sometimes is how much fun, now this is work, don't get me wrong, it's work, but it's a fun work. You control your own time. You control the ceiling of how much money you're going to make by how much work and what you want to do, how much you want to reload. So sometimes it may be frustrating, but I'm always trying to find a way to reinvent myself so I can reload and go to a whole nother level. And so I want you to hear that today, that if you're, whether you're on a mountain or a valley, both won't last forever. And what wins is being consistent here. You know, I'd love to tell you it's not true, but consistency and discipline is really what does it. You know, if doing this keto diet, and there's some carbs that look awful good to me, and I can